Hello, hello, everybody. It's Monday night. Welcome to Soul Pet. My name is Elaine. I am known as the Animal Reiki Lady, and I am an Animal Reiki Master, Animal Chaplain, Animal Medium, and this channel is dedicated to all of you who have a soul pet on the other side of life, who've got a soul pet waiting at the Rainbow Bridge, even though we know that they're not just waiting. Um, so this is the channel that's dedicated to you. And this is a community, and guess what? My first technical glitch, I have lost all of our comments. Hang on, let's get these back. There we go. All right. So this is a community. You will see a beautiful collection of people already commenting, starting to ask questions early, and those questions generally tie into the topic that we're going to be talking about, which tonight is that feeling of abandonment. In the spiritual community, it's called an abandonment wound, but it's just that feeling of being the one left behind. And this all stems from last week's live stream when one of the comments really struck a chord with you, and that was that the hardest part of losing a soul pet is being the one who's left behind. And so I want to talk about that a little bit more, and the reason why we may choose to be left behind, if that's the word we want to use. We're going to look at it from a couple different angles, and as usual, include a practice to help you connect with your soul pet on the other side, and also your soul team on the other side. But first, this is a conversation. So if anybody wants to plug in the time that we actually start the content, it's usually a solid 5 minutes in, because I like to say hello to all of our channel members, and because they're the community that supports you. We welcome everyone with open arms, judgment free. We will hold you in a virtual hug, whether you lost your pet 10 minutes ago or 10 years ago. We are here for you. So I like to say hello to all my channel members, and then say hello to everybody else who's joining, because you guys are the lifeblood, the backbone of this community, and I love you guys so much. But we do also go through questions and answers, and that's what a live stream is all about. This is about community. It's not just about me talking at you, and I wish that we could I wish this could be a two-way kind of communication thing, which it will be, and I'll bring that up in a second. We're going to do a Zoom. So that everybody who wants to meet each other and chat with me and me chat with you, that's going to be coming up next week. So first, let's say hello to everybody, and let me do some messages real quick. The first one is that we will do that Zoom. Signs and messages from the Rainbow Bridge. It is going to be on April 30th and May 2nd. I have one in the evening that should help all of the folks in the U.S., and then that's April 30th, and the other one is on a Saturday morning U.S. time, afternoon time in the U.K. and Europe. So that kind of gives everybody else a chance to jump on also. And if you're a channel member, it's included. You don't have to, there's no fee for it. I've already posted a link to my channel members, and I will remind you before the Zoom begins. And then for anybody else who wants to join us, you are so very welcome to join us. So either sign up as a member, or it's a $35 one-time fee to join. It's a 90-minute Zoom, and I'm not a clock watcher, so sometimes it may go longer than 90 minutes. But it's a Zoom where we get to interact, and we're going to practice receiving signs and messages, and I'm going to show you how easy it is, that it's not just a gift for the special few, that this is something we all have the ability to do, because our soul pets are already working on our behalf to help us make these connections. All right, so the second thing that I want to announce is I'm going to be doing an Animal Reiki and Communication course. So this is a formal online course. It's done live via Zoom. It meets for 6 weeks. It starts May 5th. If you've ever been interested in it, just let me know, especially channel members. You reach out to me right away so I can see if we can get you a space in there. But this one is one of my official courses that I teach in how to share Reiki with animals in the physical. There is also a module for what we do for our animal companions on the other side of life. And then the last thing is, I wasn't sure if I was going to bring this up after the events of today. But if you're not familiar, there was I don't want to go into too much detail, but something happened at Teotihuacan. And for those of you who have been watching me since earlier this year, you know that I spent some time there on a spiritual retreat. And to hear news that the people there are beautiful. The space is sacred. It is a place that I hold near and dear to my heart. And to have someone desecrate that sacredness hurts my heart, and it hurts the heart of the people of Teo. So I'm sending out so much love and Reiki to them, and I'm not going to hold back my announcement, which is that I'm going to be hosting my own retreat there, and it's not going to be 2027. I need it to be this year. I need it to be 2026. I need to be back there. And so that is going to be in October, and I will put out more details about that. But I just want you to know that it's the most beautiful sacred space, and I have learned so much and felt so much, and I just want to be able to share that with anybody who wants to do a spiritual retreat with me. Okay, so let's move on from there. Let's say hello to everybody. Hello to Pat, always jumping in first with the really good questions, getting us engaged right away. So hello to Pat. Hello to Kali. It's good to see you. Z, great to, wait, I went way ahead. Hold on. Kali. Sharon, good to see you also. And yeah, there's Kali and Z. And hello to Kathy H. And I'm sure Kathy R is here somewhere. Keep on scrolling down. And it's nice to see you here. Sherry, great to have you here. Christy, hey, you got the name changed. I wrote down my names tonight, so I wouldn't forget. Christy, good to see you. Already said hi to Anne, and let's scroll down. All right, so I think that's everybody who's here so far. But for any channel members who may be watching this as a replay, we love you, and we hope to see you next week if we don't see you this week. I yelled hello so you could hear me. Okay. Oh, is that to me? I don't know. Did I say hi to Cheryl? I see Cheryl in here, and then there's some other folks. Now, I also like to say hi to everybody who might not be a channel member, because you are all welcome here, and I want you to feel comfortable being part of the conversation, and you'll see that nobody will care. Jody, hey, good to see you also. I scroll so fast over these. Lady Leomon is Cassie, right? And let's see who else I've got here. Hang on. I already said hello to Jody, and I thank you for all the waves. Julie, hey, hello from Florida. Deb, great to see you here also. And all right, go ahead. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start with questions. I know that a lot of live streams do all their questions saved until the end, but I know, especially from Pat, that these questions really do apply to the topic that we're going to be talking about, which in this case is, how do we feel when we're the one who's left behind? How does that make us feel? And I'm going to give it to you from a couple different perspectives, because I'm going to share with you from an animal's perspective, such as my beautiful Jack, who was the one left behind after Lucy and Winston crossed, and also from my own perspective, being solo now, just me and Gypsy. How that feeling made me feel in the beginning, but how I also feel now. And there's going to be a couple different perspectives that I share with you about that. And feel free to put your stories in. Feel free to share your animal companion's name. Feel free to share however it is you're feeling. Even if you're watching this video 7 years from now, because you know that's how YouTube works. So first of all, hello. And hello from the past. And then also, I try to catch every comment. Who knows where I'll be in 7 years? But yeah, I hope I'll be at like the top of the leaderboard for YouTube. That's what I hope. Okay, Pat, let's see what you have first. Pat says, I never had a sense that Logan abandoned me. The feeling was of grief and loss. And I think there's a couple others who commented about that same thing, that it wasn't necessarily a feeling of abandonment, as it was that something was taken from you. And we'll put it in that perspective also. I only felt abandoned when Winston crossed. I'll share more about Winston's story. I'm going to kind of share his whole story, even about where I think he is right now and how I got that understanding. So I do understand that. I did not feel like Jack and Lucy abandoned me, but I know that some of us who are solo, our soul pets here in the physical, they're our partner in life. So when they leave us physically, we can feel left behind. Like, what am I supposed to do now? And part of what I'm going to share tonight is that I think they're trying to teach us something much deeper. It's a message I share time and again, that their crossing is not the end. Their transition is not the end of them, and we'll talk more about that. Do our soul pets ever want to know why you are communicating with them and not us? If so, do you explain that we are learning from you in order to do that? Yes, the answer is that I don't even have to explain anything. All of you who have ever shared your soul pets with me, you have created with me a beautiful connection that I can never thank you enough for. The gratitude that pours from me for you sharing your soul pet with me, I feel them right with me right now. Like this room is full of beautiful animal souls that are also, because they're so magical, they're with you, they're with me. They communicate with me on your behalf. They let me communicate to them on your behalf, but they're still always communicating with you. And one of these days, the message is going to be so clear that you never question it again. Never. So yeah, they get it. They totally get it. They don't even need me to explain that that this is a learning process, because we know that they're still learning. They're learning some things also. They're learning how to be better communicators with us from the other side. It has shifted everything. The whole idea of being able to connect with souls on the other side of life is no longer, it's, while it's not mainstream, it's also no longer just hippy dippy hairy fairy stuff. We are understanding now that we have this ability to make this connection, and more people are waking up to that. Okay, so Lady Leo, no, that's Nico's Charlie. Cassie, I never felt Kai left me. Oh, that he was taken from you. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. Do our soul pets think of me as one of our soul pet family members? Well, the short answer is yes. I think of them as my family members also. I am never alone. And one of the things I wrote in my notes tonight was that when you figure out how to do this, you will also never be alone. And like that includes like in the shower. It includes everywhere. You're not ever alone again. Once you realize that you aren't alone. Do you feel the creator of everything gave souls to all living things? Pat, I'm going to take it a step further. I know that not everyone thinks as I do about this. I can only share with you from the bottom of my heart what I feel. I think everything is the creator. I think that the creator gave souls to all living things, including plants, but I see everything as a living thing. So for example, I'm going to use Teotihuacan as an example. Those beautiful temples, those beautiful pyramids, they're temples, they're living things. I think the earth is a living thing. I think dirt is a living thing. I think it all is an extension of the beautiful creator. And yes, I think everything has a soul. It's why I try hard to respect all things, respect all life, and respect everything. Yeah, I could talk about that for days, but that's how I think of that. Yes, thank you, Pat. The subscriptions are starting to rise again. Every once in a while, it's the shorts that will really get into the cycle. And people seem to like the shorts about your soul pets. So about all of your soul pets that I've posted, like Gary and Potato is the most recent one. People really seem to like those stories. Sharon says, Cassie, I never felt Benny abandon me either. Felt like he was ripped from you. That is also, I wouldn't use that exact term for Winston, but I felt cheated when Winston passed. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a moment when I tell you Winston's story. All right, so everybody's saying hello. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Kali. And Sharon, it felt like my soul was being ripped from me. Especially, I think we talked about this last week, Kali, that when we felt like the time wasn't long enough, even though Winston's time was much longer than I was told it was going to be, I still felt that it wasn't long enough. I really thought he was going to be a little old man with me forever. And I love this, Kali, that there's still a spot in your house that you refuse to vacuum. Guess what? Even if you vacuum, I recently moved, and even as I moved, I found, we called them pony parts. Jack was a very long-haired yellow lab, and he shed like crazy. And I still find Jack's hair every once in a while. So vacuum or no vacuum, they have a way of letting us know that they have left pieces of them behind with us. Okay, just walked in the door, listening though. Okay, Cheryl. Hello. We're saying hi to you. Big shout out to Cheryl. And I'll see if there's any more questions. I was touched to see beloved. Okay, yep. Don't worry, and I am doing more. I put a lot of thought into those videos. So I know that I know you sent me a bunch of pictures of pockets, which are great. And so anybody who is going to send me pictures for me to do, channel members, for me to do a little video of your like a little 30-second short of your soul pet. The shorts are, I they're tall, right? So if you have a square picture or a long picture this way, it's hard for me to fit into the frame of the video. So if you have anything that will fit like this, that's the best. Those are the best thing. I wonder if Pockets knows about our Pockets Place project. Z, you know the answer to that question. Of course Pockets knows. Pockets is one of the ones who's pulling the strings behind the scenes to get it all to go. So no question there. Our animal companions, once we realize that they are still active with our lives, there's no getting away from it. Sometimes the ideas that they plant in our mind, the seed that they plant in our heart, beyond just the signs and messages, all of a sudden you just get a realization like, you know what, I really wanted to work on this today, and you start doing it. Where do you think that comes from? We don't have a little box inside of our mind that just cooks up thoughts. They are animal companions, our soul pets, and even other souls of family members who are near and dear to us. They have the ability to influence the way in which we think. They can plant ideas. It's up to us to take the action, inspired action. It's up to us to do the work, but we let them kind of drive the car. We let them plant the seed and let them take over some of the things that you're not even sure how to do. And that's the way that goes. Keep on going here. Yep, connected by heart, 100%, Sherry. Okay, so I think we have got all the, yes, of course. I think that's all the questions for now. So let's go ahead and get started. So we are at, for anybody who wants to put a comment in, for people who want to scroll ahead, we are at 19 minutes in. So for people who don't like to do the conversation thing, the topic begins at 20 minutes in now, since I'm now taking a drink. All right. The hardest part of loving a soul pet is being the one left behind. Because sometimes it doesn't just feel like loss. It does feel like we have been left behind, as if everybody else gets to go on the amusement ride, and we are left standing there holding our hat, just wondering why we're not included. And I find this particularly valid thinking about me. I wasn't quite ready to get to my story yet, but I'll just give it to you a little bit, with Steve and Jack and Lucy and Winston all together on the other side. Like, sometimes I'm thinking, I wonder what they're doing over there. Even though I know a lot of what they're doing, I don't know everything. I'm like, I wonder, they're all hanging out together. Jack, I know what Jack is doing. Jack loved to chase this little monkey, and Steve would throw this little monkey and it went, ah! And he would throw this little monkey and Jack would go crazy. So I know they're over there just playing, having a good time. And you feel a little bit left out. But I want to name what that is. So in the metaphysical, spiritual world, even in the counseling world, I believe, it's called an abandonment wound. And the abandonment wound is sometimes something that people cling to. They'll call it their wound. I prefer not to personalize it like that. It is a hurt. It is something that we felt. But as I mentioned last week with that song, when we take a different perspective, like, I'm not what happened to me, we can help already kind of heal that wound. But it is the feeling of being left behind. It's the feeling of being left alone in the physical world, in a physical world that's hard. It is hard to be here on planet Earth. I have shared with you many times that I believe that we chose to be here. I don't believe we chose all of the road bumps that pop up for us, but I believe that we said, okay, this could be a really cool thing to do. We could go and make a difference, or we could go and do this, or we could go and explore that. I won't even get into all the things that I feel about that, because I do think that we can shift that. There's something called soul contracts. It's across the room, my book called Animal Soul Contracts. There are some people who have a firm belief that we create contracts before we are incarnated in the physical world. So I'm going a little bit hairy-fairy on here for you guys, but I'm kind of giving you some background about what this is. They believe that our soul made a contract before we came here, just like an agreement about how things were going to go. Not word by word, not written in stone, because we do have free will, but pretty much to say what we were going to come back as, like male or female, or this time around I was going to be a nun. No. But I believe that the word contract is mistaken. I think we set up parameters of the game, but that we now, especially with all the spiritual evolution that's gone on, we now have the ability to change the game. And we are changing the game. We have the ability to say, yeah, the spell is broken, the curtain has been lifted, and now I'm playing the game according to my rules. And our animal companions and other soul family members are on the other side going, yeah, let's do it. So back to the abandonment wound. It's feeling left behind in a physical world that can sometimes feel dense. Yeah, I'm not going to go back to Teotihuacan. That can sometimes feel dense. And we don't want to be here by ourselves doing this. So we might sometimes ask the question, why am I even still here? Or why am I here? Our animal companions want to help us with that. And it doesn't matter if it's a pet or it's a person, or if you've had multiple losses like I did with Jack and Lucy, and not Jack and Lucy, Lucy and Winston. And I know that several of you had been through that also. The feeling runs really deep. The feeling runs deep. But when we can come out on the other side of it, we are changed. It's as if our soul has shifted and changed. And I don't mean that in a way like you have to change. There's something wrong with you. Fix yourself, fix your soul. It's not that at all. It's an evolution. It's a transition. It's an alchemy. We're rising. We are rising above what we were into something different. And when you come out on the other side, most times it's hindsight. You're like, wow, what I went through and where I'm at now are two completely different places. And I know this just from some of you guys and the things that you've expressed to me. Z, just to think about where we started and when we started with pockets, and to watch your beautiful comments now. I know that we come out better on the other side. Okay, so I want to tell you about Winston's story, and I'm just going to check my notes here to see how far I want to go, but we'll just let Winston flow through me. Winston was a rescue, and he was a who rescued who story. When I lived on the top of a mountain, as most of you know, I had sold my home. I bought an RV. We traveled around the country, and we settled at a little piece of property, private, secluded, on the top of a mountain in Colorado. And it was beautiful. I miss it. I miss it a lot. There's a lot that I don't miss. I do miss the privacy. I miss all of my animals. We had elk and bear and mountain lion and fox and birds and little ground squirrels. And I had every kind of wildlife that you can imagine. And I loved every moment of it. And I never felt threatened, and I never felt in danger. Even with a mountain lion on our property, with a bear who came and visited regularly, it was a beautiful place to live. And the seclusion of it was wonderful. The part that chased me off the mountain, there was a couple things, but I'll tell you the reason why for me, being snowed in from October to May, you want to talk about cabin fever. It was not 3 winters in a row. We were snowed in from October to May, and I couldn't take that life. I'm a solar power girl. You guys know this. I'm so solar powered. And so I had to choose between that and my beautiful animals. But I know that I take their heart with me, and I still remember them so fondly. But we're at the top of this very secluded mountain, and my husband was away for business. I walked outside of our RV, and there was a little dog under the RV, a little King Charles Cavalier, and he was shaking and quaking, and he was just clearly afraid under the RV. I coaxed him out. I should have known right then that he loved cookies. I coaxed him out. He came out. He was covered from head to toe. He was not wearing a collar. He was covered in pollen and dirt. And I have no idea how he could have gotten there. We were 1 mile up a mountain at the top. And I just don't know how he could have gotten to where he got, except that he was, and I'm going to use the word dumped. And I'll tell you what conclusions we came to in just a second. So he was abandoned in the woods where there are predators. He was deaf. He had a congestive heart failure. He was very sick. I scooped him up, checked him all out, cleaned him up, took him down to the vet in town, and she said that there's no microchip I posted it. I posted his photo everywhere. I went on to all the social media sites. I went on to all the rescues. I did everything that I possibly could to find his people, thinking that he might be lost. I did take him to my veterinarian, and this is why I love veterinarians from head to toe. I practice animal Reiki, which is something about energetic healing in addition to the medical care that our veterinarians provide. But my veterinarian said, if you adopt him, I will provide you everything you need to care for Winston. And so, of course, and not number one, I didn't care. It didn't matter to me whatsoever what it was going to cost for his medical care. I just knew that I was not going to abandon him again. He had already been abandoned once, so maybe that's the better word than dumped. He was abandoned. And so I brought him into my home, and he had all of these medical issues. But I chose to, we fell in love like instantly. It was one of those situations where we instantly fell in love. And I knew that he was brought to me for a reason. I knew that he had come to me. I didn't know exactly what the reason was, but he went everywhere with me. And I know that several of you know exactly what that is. He was a little small dog. He could go everywhere. Everywhere I went, he went. He always was with me. And it was wonderful. And there was no competition between Jack and Lucy. Jack and Lucy were a bonded pair anyway. But we just had this one beautiful family. And that summer, when my husband was away for business, it would be the four of us in a king-size bed. And we just snuggled all winter long. We just always snuggled, keeping each other warm and safe. And it was just so beautiful. So one of the reasons that I was sure that Winston came to me was because this was back in 2020. I had just started doing things online because of that time, that pandemic thing that we all now shake our heads at. So I was just starting to do things online. So I thought, Winston has come to me to help me to understand this. He is going to help me teach. He's going to be with me. I did lots of videos with him, took lots of photos of him. He is going, and here, this is what the veterinarian told me. The veterinarian said, he's so sick. He's so sick with his congestive heart failure. His lungs are so full of fluid. He's probably, even with the medication, only going to be with you for a couple of weeks. He said maybe a couple of months. You might prepare for the end of summer that it'll be time for him to pass. And Winston stayed with me for 2.5 years after the veterinarian said that. So I was so certain that Winston was going to, when it was his time to cross, I knew. They said he was about somewhere between 10 and 12. They weren't 100% sure. I knew in my heart of hearts that he was going to allow me, he was going to be the animal that would let me hold him in my arms as he transitioned, that I would be with him, sharing everything that he needed to share. I just saw my name pop up, so that distracted me. Sharing everything, showing people how we transition, how we can help and be with our animals as they transition. I was fully prepared for that. And when I came home from work that one day, I've shared this with you many times, 2 hours. I went to work for 2 hours. And it was important, that work was important to me because I worked as a client care representative at a pet funeral home. So those 2 hours on Saturday mornings, it was always a big morning for me. After 2 hours there, I came home and he was gone. Sorry, trying not to. Even after all this time, it's 6 years later. He was gone. And I took it out on my husband, who was wonderful and understanding. But I was hurt. And it wasn't that I felt abandoned, but like you guys had said, like Sharon had said, and go back and check, my name's Cassie. I felt that something had been taken from me. And I didn't understand why Winston had chosen to go without me, why he didn't let me hold him, why he chose to go on his own and be by himself. I now understand it because I sit in meditation with him. But that feeling of, that deep sense of being left behind, like, why would he leave without me? Why would he leave without letting me say goodbye? Because he transitioned on his own. I didn't understand it. So I want to share that piece for that sense of abandonment. And then I have two more stories I want to tell you if you guys are with me on that. But first, let's check this comment. So, uh, Cheryl says, "Oh, Elaine, I was online window shopping and just scrolling through the computer stuff, and mixed in the middle of the electronics was a shirt that said, 'I'm Lucy, doing Lucy things.' Awesome." I love that. That's my sign. Thank you so much. Did I not say hello to Debbie Knight? Hi, Debbie Knight. Um, I love that so much. And hello, Jennifer Hins Gosnell. Pockets had 5 strollers to go everywhere. I see. I have to. I'm sorry, guys, for you catching this on the replay. I love to read all these comments because this is what we do. Uh, so Lucy, for those of you who don't know, she sends me signs on shirts with her name. Lucy appears on shirts. So I love that. Thank you, Charlotte. I really appreciate that. Now I imagine Elaine posting his picture but putting a little fake mustache on him as a disguise. That's good. Right? Collie, I did not want anybody to claim him. I truly didn't want anybody to claim him. I was instantly in love. The two of us were instantly in love. Yeah, so that's cute. Okay, The Shining snowed in for many months. Oh, Cheryl, that's exactly what it was like. That's exactly what it was like. It was not good, and I tried to make the best of it. I tried. But it was the last winter when I went skidding off the road, even in my 4-wheel drive vehicle. I was done. I was so done. I was over it. Okay, so do I have a picture of Winston? I'm sure that I do. I should have been ready with a picture of Winston. I don't think I have it on this phone. Let me. I'll as I keep talking, I'll see if I can find a picture of Winston. Okay. Ben. Do I have a Ben here? Age, gender, all of it, none of that matters. Loss is loss, and it's okay to express and feel it. 100%. I'm guessing that I missed something from someone named Ben. But yeah, it doesn't matter. There's no guidelines. There's no rules about who and what and when we feel grief. Everybody is welcome, and everybody is wrapped here in a virtual hug. So I just want to share that. Oh, bend over. Okay. Bend over. Seriously, that's hilarious. But we are sending you big hugs, even though you just made me laugh. Okay. Two more stories. And then you guys feel free to also share your stories if you want. Jake. Jake is the one who was a foster dog of mine. And Jake said, I got to sit with Jake as Jake was crossing. Jake's human mama, who I'd fostered for during COVID while she was sick. I fostered her dog he stayed with me for 3 months. Amazing dog. He's the dog who also had the amputation like my husband. They had an amputation on the same day. Talk about dogs and animals coming into your life for a reason. They both had an amputation on the same day, and I have a photo of my husband in the wheelchair holding little Jake with only one leg, and the two of them just bonded like you wouldn't believe. But I got to be with Jake on his last day, and I sat with him in my arms with his mama, and we just sat with him, and it was beautiful and peaceful. If beautiful can be used to describe it, we were outdoors. It was peaceful. It was peaceful. It was serene. We were holding him in our arms, and at the very last moment, and this is not know that there's no separation. So when their little soul leaves their body, there's no separation. They're not like waiting for their instant. They don't even recognize sometimes that they're no longer in the physical body. This is for people also. So Jake I just had this communication from him, really clear as a bell, that was like, wait, back the bus up. You mean you guys aren't coming with me? He had this feeling that me and his mama, we were all going to go together. And we just simply, when I said that out loud, we just let him know that we're still here. We're not separate. We're not going to be separate. Nobody's going anywhere. We're still going to be here. He may not be in his little body anymore, but we're all going to be together. And sure enough, there was like this instant feeling of peace and relief as he transitioned. I'm going back to see what Collie said. Ben said he lost his cat, Charlie. Charlie was around 9 when he passed. Charlie was taken in by Ben off the streets. Yeah, Ben, those are when they come to us that way, and I know that several other of you have had animals just come to you like Winston did. They're meant to be in our life for a reason. And when they leave us, it can be a gut punch. It is, though, there's something that we feel cheated. We feel cheated, like something was taken away from us. And I think that's part of not just the abandonment piece. I think that's all of what they're trying to help us heal. And I'm using heal in a very light way. They're helping us evolve and change, and we're going to get to that. And then the last one I want to share is with Jack. So Jack is, as I mentioned last week, they were all between the age, Lucy, Winston, Jack were all they were all roughly around 13. And Lucy passed with assistance. It was planned. We knew, and everything was, her transition was beautifully guided. She had a ceremony, and it was beautiful, and it was peaceful. Winston passed that same week. So that was the other piece that was traumatic, was Winston going the same week. And it left Jack all by himself with me and Steve, but still his pack, his pack of dogs was no longer there. He had no dog to cuddle with, no dog to play tug with, no dog to go on walks with. And I could see that he was lonely. And I don't think that was just me projecting loneliness onto him. He seemed to go into a state of grief and, if I dare say, depression. He was not quite his usual self. He would sit on a sofa. I still have a picture of him. Oh, that's a picture on his last day. I have a picture of him just sitting on the sofa, just kind of looking off, thinking like a person might. He just looked a little lost. So I know that our animals also feel that sense of abandonment. I know that our animal companions, as opposed to people, recover quicker because they recognize almost immediately. They recognize pretty fast that they are still have a connection with the energy of the people, and that too, of the animals that share their life with them. And then, of course, there's me, who is here. It's just me and Gypsy, and fortunately, Gypsy and I have each other. I am well aware that Gypsy will probably transition ahead of me. And what I'm praying, she's 7. She'll be 7 in July. So I honor and love and cherish every moment that I have with her. But that feeling of Lucy and Jack and Winston and Steve all being on the other side with me here, sometimes it's lonely. Sometimes it's quiet. Even when I talk out loud to them, sometimes it's just hollow is the word for it. It's why I moved, because I wanted a space that was not quite so hollow. So it can feel like everyone is left, but we're going to turn that around. I really, really want to turn that around for you, because when I think of, I'm looking out at a beautiful sunset right now. When I look at that sunset, Steve loved those sunsets. He loved those beautiful sunsets. It's like the sky is blue and purple and pink and yellow, and so I'll take that as a sign, or I'll let him look through my eyes. Like, look at that beautiful sunset with the trees up against the trees are just starting to bloom. Anyway, I don't know where I was going with that. Oh, even when I feel them, like I welcome them and feel them, I still sometimes feel a little bit lonely. So how do we reframe that sense of feeling that something was taken from us, or feeling as if we are the ones who have been left behind? If you are the one who has been left behind, I really want you to hear this. I really, really, really want you to hear this, because they are trying to show us something different. They are trying to help us overcome this fear that there's nothing else on the other side. That's, I think, what, besides the loss of physical connection, of physical comfort, of holding them, of touching them, of feeling them, getting their kisses, petting them, just being with them, there's this fear that, but what if everything she's saying is not real? What if, like, that really was the end and there's nothing else on the other side? Or what if we don't go to the same place? What if animals are someplace different than people? Or what if I don't go to someplace that's the same as them? What if I miss them? What if I get on the other side and they have reincarnated back to Earth, and now I've missed them and I'm still alone? It doesn't work that way. Does not work that way. I promise you, it doesn't work that way. You are souls connected through all time and all space. You won't miss them over there any more than you miss them here. It won't even be the same. Right now we miss the physical presence. When you transition, everything's going to change even more than what I'm about to explain to you now. So this is an invitation from them. When we feel that sense, when you've got that sense, so Sharon, you looked back and you said, no, I felt like something was ripped from me. When you feel that, take it as the way that they are getting in touch with you. They are giving you that signal. They are signaling to you that they're right there and you're feeling this way so that they can help you shift. You're feeling this way so that you get in touch with them, so that you reach out to them, you can communicate with them. They're trying to reach you through that feeling. So when that happens and you've got the feeling, even if you don't have the feeling, I still want you to be able to do this little exercise with me. They're trying to show you that they're not gone, that they are reaching out to you. They want to connect with you. Why? We'll talk about the why in just a minute. This is, I want to share you a why of Winston and why I was able to shift my feelings around Winston's passing. And I want you to think about this too. And when we get together for the live Zoom for signs and messages, I'm going to share a little bit more deeper about this with you. If you really, really, really want to understand what your animal companion is or was thinking, or what their journey was, because every single animal, every single soul is on their own personal journey. There's a saying that our children really aren't our children. Our pets are not our pets. They are partners. They are sharing a life with us. They have come into this existence to be with us, but they are all on their own path. They're all on their own journey. And it's when we try to force them into something that we think should be their path that we run into conflict, that we run into problems, that we run into issues. They're here to share with us, but they're partners and they're equal in their lives. So I respect every single person and every single animal for whatever their journey and their path may be. So Winston, after I was feeling the way that I felt, I knew what to do. I walked the talk. I knew what to do, and that was to go quiet, to find a place where I could be by myself. I love to do this outdoors because I love to sit with nature and trees. I feel the energy from them, and I know that they will hold me in a virtual hug. I sat with Winston on my mind, and I let him in. And I always start with the same thing. I do the same thing that I share with you guys. I sit down, I focus on my heart, I focus on getting everything into coherence, and then I tell myself that there's nothing more important than my connection right now. There's nothing more important than me and Winston being able to commune. And I sat with Winston and I asked to be shown. And when I say that I asked to be shown, it's not like there's a movie screen going in front of my eyes. It's going to be different for everybody. I just got a knowing, like I knew something that I didn't know a minute ago. And that's just the way that it works for me. So what I got from him was that his passing, or that when he was abandoned and I found him, or he found me, when he was abandoned, that his family had abandoned him. I saw it clearly. And what I saw in my little vision was an old station wagon, not even a station wagon, like an old Subaru Outback, but like an older one. It was like an older little wagon. And that there was a family in there. And that they did not have the ability to care for him medically anymore. And they didn't know what to do, and the choice that they made, I hold no judgment, none whatsoever. The choice that they made was to let him go, and they released him into the wild, not knowing that he already had a journey plan to find me, because how the heck did he find me at the top of a mountain? I can't even begin to tell you. But anywho, he laughs now at that because I see these beautiful little wings just carrying him through the woods. So I got this vision of this old station wagon, and he was abandoned, and that there was a little girl in the station wagon. I think I've shared this story once before. And he did not see abandonment the way that we do. He saw it as the next leg of his journey. And when he was with me, he chose not to remember. I'd asked him many times during our physical time together to share with me where he came from, because that would be an option too for finding his family. Tell me where you came from, and I will find your way home for you. And his answer to me was always, "But I am home. I don't know what you mean. I am home right now." So I know that he chose to be with me in his home. But once he passed, he gave me this vision, and it was the little girl who now needed to be healed. And he showed me that he was with her, that because I also had not seen him. Like Jack and Lucy. Lucy popped into a dream the same night. Jack shows up the very next day. Not anything from Winston. And what he showed me was that he chose to be with the little girl who was devastated. That word just that rose up a lot of emotion, because I think that's what she was feeling, that she was devastated that she no longer had her little soul dog. Like, he was her soul dog, and then he was not anymore. So he went back to her, and I think that is part of that's part of what they do as this way to help us heal. He is going back to help her heal something. I know this from the bottom of my heart. I have absolutely no proof. I can provide you no documentation, but I can only go with what I feel in my heart, that he is back there so that she does not carry this story with her for the rest of her life. As a little girl, can you imagine the family dog, and it's your little snuggle-up-a-kiss, and this little dog kisses you and hugs you and goes everywhere with you, and then all of a sudden the family has to make a tough choice like that? That's a story that a little girl might carry with her for the rest of her life. And he went back to her to help her recover from that, and to help her heal from that, and to fill the holes in her heart full of love. And I just know that with confidence, even if I have no way to prove it to you. I can only go with what I feel. Jennifer says, my dad loved the sunrise. My dad loved the mountains. That was the other thing that my dad, I'm going to bring him up in a minute for a reason. My dad, I've let him see through my eyes so many times. Staring at the mountains, it was his favorite thing. So I just look at the mountains, and I kind of let my vision go soft, and I invite him in just to look through my eyes. So you are not alone. They are not alone. That was Winston. I just wanted to give you that example, that Winston he took that as his sacred job when he crossed to the other side. And all of our animal companions want to do the same for us. Lucy came to me in that dream the night that she passed. Lucy sent me the shirt with the gold letters that said Lucy, because she wanted to make it 100% clear to me, without question and without doubt, that she was still with me. And if she was still with me, then everybody's soul pet was still with them. And she's the one who gave me the courage to speak up and start saying it, because I did this for a while without telling a soul. I didn't tell anybody. I know my family thought I went nuts. I know that there's members of my family that still think I went nuts. My husband was one of them. Not anymore. Not anymore. I know on the other side that he is now the guardian. He is hanging out with Jack and Lucy and Jake, and 2 other family dogs that had passed before. Bailey Shotgun, and also a dog that he had as a child that his family made a decision to rehome that dog. So I will go back to comments in just a second. So I just want you to know that every single one of your soul pets considers it their sacred duty to connect with you, not just as a sign, not just to say, wow, isn't that cool that I get to see a rainbow, a shooting star, a feather, a coin, but because, and not just to give you a message, but that's part of it. So they want to be able to be your support, to be your cheerleader, to be your team. They want to be able to help you with your intuition so that you can make different decisions and move forward in such a beautiful life. They don't want your life to be hard, and they want to be able to help make this path of yours easier. But they need you to know that first, that they didn't leave you. That's like the first step. The first step before we can do anything is to know, not just to hope, not to wish, not to believe even, but to know that they are still right by your side. That is not a metaphor. I don't mean it as a that sounds really cool that they're right by my side. I mean, Logan, Pat is right by your side. That Phoebe is right by your side. That Hannah is right by your side. I'm calling up all the names that are coming into my mind. However they pop out. That Charlie is still right by your side, Ben. Okay, I'm going to check comments, and then we're going to get to this little exercise that I want to do. Everybody's saying hello. Oh, hello, Nico. Nico is Charlie, right? I'm pretty sure that's Charlie. Boy, the name Charlie tonight. That's where my name on here came from, and then there was me feeling. Oh, that makes total sense, Collie. And then there was me. Yeah, I got it. I totally got it. Well, I'm glad you guys love the stories. Sometimes my stories go on. I could tell stories all night long. I could tell stories about lots of different animals too. But Collie says Elaine's higher self told Winston's former people where to bring him so he would be safe. Oh, Collie, that's a beautiful thought. I love that idea. Even for every animal who has come into our life in an unexpected way, and I don't want to say especially, but I'm thinking in particular of the animals that we adopt, that the strings that are pulled behind the scenes are also from our higher self. So Ben and Jennifer, you guys are probably new to the conversation, but I sometimes go down the rabbit hole and I share things from a different perspective. And it's not that I want to be all like hippy dippy, but I've gotten a sense that there's more to this than we have been taught since we were little. And there's a part of us that resides in our own body, a part of our soul, but there's a greater part of us that still resides on the other side, if that's what you want to call it, on the other side of the veil. That there's still a part of us, our higher self, or as we've come to say, our more complete self. Higher makes it sound like we're lower here, but that full, complete version of our soul that comes from the divine, that comes from the Creator, God, Buddha, Allah, whatever that is for you, that they orchestrate things. And so if my higher self connected with Winston's family and gave them the nudge, Winston could do this also, gave them the nudge of exactly where to place him and that he was going to find his way to where he had to go to get to me. I totally believe that, Collie, and it's I don't think that it's just a nice thought. I think that it's real. It goes right to my heart. Not quite sure what I said, but I'm glad it does. I was a gray kitten taken away by my father. Right. I get it. I totally get it. And a white little bunny that followed me all around grew up to be taken away from me again. All right. I'm going to share one more thing with you, Cheryl. And I think about this and the family that also abandoned Winston, that they had a role to play. And we haven't talked about Ho'oponopono and forgiveness in a long time. But everyone who has ever played a role in our lives that has hurt us, there's been a reason for it. And I don't know there are some big hurts in this world. I'll put it to you that way. There are some big hurts, and I think we all know that, especially in childhood, there can be trauma with a capital T. But to be able to find our way through that and come out on the other side, I think it leaves us changed if we can find the path through. And so I forgive. I completely forgive. There was something that happened early on. I will not go. There's no need to retell the story. I simply know what you mean. I know exactly what you mean. I have chosen to forgive everything. I have chosen to release everything because it does not serve me. It doesn't serve me to tell any old stories like that. I would much rather let them go and just let the love replace those stories. But that's just my personal thoughts. I can't wait to tell you a story about Charlie. Oh, good. Maybe you can tell me a story one day. Come to my spiritual retreat. It's going to be happening in October. I haven't posted any details about it yet. I just finalized it with the little retreat center this morning. Logan was a rehome. Oh, no kidding, Pat. See, they find their way to us. I call it the crooked path. Whatever that crooked path is that led them to us, it most certainly did. Anne says Zozo was abandoned twice, and yes, I get that. I hear it so often. Jody, right, with Phoebe, if I'm not mistaken, it's Jody and Phoebe, who 3 times was returned to the adoption center, to the shelter, because they're on the crooked path. They knew who they were looking for. They knew what to do. They knew the behaviors to exhibit that would get them returned so that they could find their way to us. I just know that also. I'm glad I saw the thing about the higher self resonates. I hope. Z says my higher self is noisy sometimes. Yeah, I get it. My higher self goes, girl, listen. Because did you ever like get the feeling when you're supposed to turn left and you still turn right? Your higher self is going to wake up, listen to me, use your intuition when making decisions. Okay. Sherry, I'm going back. Did I miss something from Sherry? Stick with all of us and have that hurt. My grandmother had me drown minute-old kittens when you were 5 or 6. It still haunts you at 60. Sherry, I get the feeling of being haunted also. I didn't bring it up last week because I thought it was too hurtful to say. I watched my grandfather do the same thing. I did not do it, but I watched my grandfather do the same thing. And I was horrified. Oh, Jennifer, I did a reading for Penny. Okay. Oh, beautiful. I will have to go back and double check. I will have to go back and check for Penny because I love to do all those beautiful readings. Anyway, squirrel. Back to Sherry. Yes, I know exactly what you mean. And maybe next week we do something on Ho'oponopono to forgive all those past hurts. And those beautiful little kittens that went right, that they felt no trauma. They went right back to the other side. They don't feel trauma when something like that happens. But yeah, Sharon, right, to have a child do that. Einstein's work created the saying that energy can never be created or destroyed. It only transforms. 100%, and it goes back way before Einstein. Einstein is the one who's most popularly credited in our current times with saying that energy can neither be created or destroyed, it simply changes form. And that is exactly what happens. So when I've shared this many times about water. Water can be ice, water can be water can be a river, water can be snow, water can be steam. It simply changes form, but the energy itself cannot ever be destroyed. And when you can open your heart and start to trust, believe, and know that your animal companion is there, it's like if you had a foot holding the door a crack open, they just smack it open. The door goes wide open. The spell is broken, and you see behind the curtain, and you know exactly, and you can't unknow it. Once you know it, you can't unknow that they are right by your side. Okay, let's do this little activity, and then I'll give you my little closing messages. Where are we at for time? Oh boy, we're at the top of the hour. So see, you guys get me talking, and this is what you get. Okay, this is a guided exercise. As always, I like to give short, easy to do, easy to remember practices that you can do in the privacy of your own home whenever you get a chance to sit down quietly. If you can do it now with me, do it. If you can't, you can always come back to this moment in the live stream. It's we've been on for exactly 58 minutes and 35 seconds. You can come back to the sound of my voice and just listen to the story if you choose to, or you don't have to listen to my voice at all. You can simply do this on your own. But this one, if you are in a place where you can lie down comfortably now, or just sit with your eyes closed, that's all we need to do right now. Don't do this if you're driving. Lie down or sit comfortably. And we always begin by focusing on our breath, because when we focus on breathing, notice yourself breathe in. Notice yourself as you exhale. When you make the exhale longer than the inhale, it's that easy to remember. Your body, it's called the parasympathetic nervous system, it activates. It means you're not in fight or flight, but you are calm, centered, and grounded. And then you say to yourself the same phrase I use every single day. Nothing is more important at this moment in time than me connecting with my soul pet. And you just use the name of your soul pet. but this is going to take it one step further. So I want you to lie down. I want you to sit, close your eyes, focus on your breath. Breathe at your own pace. There's nothing else special that you need to do, but focus on that breath. Feel yourself become calmer. Let that sense of peace, or even just sometimes it feels like a little floaty. That's the way I like to describe it. Just let your body feel that. You're kind of being held, and you're in this beautiful space. And I want you to bring to mind your soul pet. You can bring to mind one soul pet. You can bring to mind many soul pets. But call to mind someone that they trust. So think about that. Call to mind now someone that your soul pet trusts. For me, it's easy. It's my husband, it's my father, it's Nana. Nana, who was always a member of this channel, who would join us on Monday nights and is now on the other side. Call to mind someone that your beautiful animal companion would trust. And if for some reason you can't think of someone that they trust, they all have guardian angels, as we all have guardian angels. Just call to mind their beautiful, loving angel. And if you're not a person who readily goes to angels, I invite you, with full permission, to invite my father. His name is Richard. He is the keeper of the dogs. He loves dogs. He loved them in the physical. He loves them on the other side. He was a big, broad man, and he had this little concave chest. And the little dogs in particular, he would hold them right there in that space in his chest. Just call to mind my father. And if you're a cat person, you could always call to mind Nana, our beautiful Nana, who was always here with us on Monday nights. She's now the keeper of the cats. She loved cats. Her Prince Charming, Kitty Kitty, she loved cats. So know that her cat, that she will watch over your cat, but call them all to mind. And now invite all of them just to be with you. You have got a team. It's not just your soul pet. Your soul pet calls to your side your entire spirit team. Everyone who resides on the other side, whether you know them or not, you have got them not only in your corner, you have got them at your back, you have got them in your heart, you have got them in your mind, in your hands, all around you. They flow to, through, around you. Let their love wrap you in the most beautiful virtual hug. Feel it. Feel the tingles, feel the warmth, feel just a sensation of being gathered up into someone's arms. That's the sensation I want you to feel. And as you feel that with your soul pet and with all the souls who are with you on the other side, ask yourself, how could I ever be alone when I have this much love? How could I ever be alone when I feel this much love hugging me? And then we're going to take it one step further. And I want you to know that every single person who is hearing these words, everyone in this community, everyone who has shared a comment, everyone who has acknowledged your grief, we are with you also. No matter where we are in the world, our heart is with you. We also wrap you in a virtual hug. Feel it. Feel it. Feel my arms wrap around you at this very moment, holding you, holding your soul pet, holding space for you, letting you know that not ever again do you have to feel alone, ever. And now you take another deep breath. You kind of bring yourself back to the moment. Sometimes we don't want to bring ourselves back to the moment. When you do this on your own, you can stay in this space for as long as it feels good. There are some mornings when I do this and I don't even want to get out of bed because it feels so good just to be wrapped in that warmth of a loving hug from every soul who has got my back on the other side. And you have that also. Okay, so bring yourself back to the moment. Let your breathing get back to normal. Shake your hands, roll your shoulders, whatever you need to do just to bring yourself back into the moment. And I'll check comments one more time. The feeling of being left behind, it's not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a deeper connection. And as I mentioned before, once you feel it, you can't go back. You just don't go back. You have been invited to see beyond this physical world. And I hope that you accept that invitation, because the truth is that their love does not ever leave us and their energy does not die. They are with us forever and ever and ever. All right, let me go back to see if there's any other comments. May their hearts heal. Thank you for may their hearts heal. That's what I put out to everyone. Whenever, especially when I see when someone brings, because I don't watch the news, but my family loves to bring it to my attention. When those denser things come into my experience, I just send that love. And it's physical. I don't just say, I'm praying for them, I love them. It's not a nice thing. It's not just a nice thing to say. I let it flow from me, knowing that there's no distance, no space, no time. I just let it go. All right, you guys, I love you too. My grandmother loved cats. She's the one who gave me the gray kitten when I was young, so I know all my fur babies are with her. Beautiful, Cheryl. That's beautiful. And you know what? Oh, loved kittens. We have somebody on here at loved kittens. And it's okay if the tears come. I shed tears a couple times myself this evening, so... all right, I'm glad you found comfort in this. You guys are awesome. I saw trees behind him, sort of like a lumberjack vibe. Oh, there's I don't know who exactly we are talking. Oh, saw your dad before you mentioned how he looked. Like I saw the indent in his chest. That is awesome. I think that's the comment, right? I'm glad that you saw him, and that's exactly what he'd be wearing, is a flannel shirt, like a lumberjack kind of guy. And there's also one other person. Who is my soul brother on the other side, is not in the physical, also looks much like my father and a lumberjack. His name is Christopher, but anywho, and he also is surrounded by dogs whenever I picture him. Okay, you guys, I gotta go. Have a beautiful night. Have a beautiful week. I have posted some details in the post tab for the 2 workshops coming up next Thursday, the 30th. No, whatever date the 30th is, it might be a Wednesday, and Saturday the 2nd. Until then, until next week, may animals light your way. I love you guys so much. Take care. Goodbye, my friends. Good night, not goodbye. Farewell.